Mass shootings are becoming common, and it's just not an okay thing. Like, we need to do something about it.
Anger and frustration in the wake of the Michigan State shooting. This morning, how the 3 students who were gunned down are being remembered.
And new school safety tech will show you some advanced software that can identify risky visitors before they ever get near a student.
And it's still windy and mild, but some cooler temperatures moving in. That's out ahead of some snow later tonight.
Good Wednesday morning, folks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now this morning on this February 15th. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Chris Stanford. Kelly Slifka with your First Warn forecast this morning. We have an alert day coming up because a lot of the viewing area could see a few inches of snow.
Yeah, it's going to vary quite a bit, especially areas to the south. It looks like we'll see the most impact, and that'll be coming in later tonight. What we're dealing with this morning are just a few showers that have been passing down to the south and east near Whitewater. Moved through Janesville fairly quickly, now moving through southern parts of Jefferson County, moving away from the area. That should be about it, but take a look at some of these wind gusts. Look at this wind gust down in Monroe. Got up to 45-mile-per-hour gusts, and we've had wind gusts here in Madison about 30 miles per hour, so still windy. That's the storm system that's moving on out. Our next storm system moving in by tonight. That'll be setting us up for some snow. That's why we do have the First Warn alert day. That'll be late tonight through Thursday, 1 to 7 inches likely. Still breezy as we go into this morning, into the afternoon, but temperatures will be actually falling from the 40s that we have now into the 30s. But it'll be quiet today. It really won't be until later tonight, going into tomorrow, that we'll see some of that snow. So any commute today should be okay, just kind of windy out there. We'll look for that snow to be moving in late tonight through tomorrow. We'll take a look at that snowfall potential coming up.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Kelly. Let's take a live look at the State House this morning, where Governor Evers is set to deliver his big budget address tonight. The spending plan will cover the next 2 years, and we already know some of his big proposals. He's already released plans for tax cuts, education, voting, housing, and a plan to keep the Brewers in Milwaukee. We'll break down each of those components in 30 minutes. The state has a budget surplus this year of $7 billion, which is a record. The governor's plan, of course, does need legislative approval.
We will stream the governor's address on our website, Channel 3000 Plus, and our news app. You can download it this morning wherever you get your apps.
A 16-year-old girl who allegedly seriously injured another teenager in a stabbing on Madison's north side last month will also return to court today. The 16-year-old girl was initially charged in adult court, but today's hearing is to decide whether she should officially be charged in juvenile court. So we're not naming her. Following the girl's arrest, Madison police said the stabbing stemmed from a disturbance at Warner Park, where the girl allegedly stabbed the victim. The victim has since undergone surgery and is expected to survive.
The women who were charged in an attack on a pregnant woman trying to kill her unborn baby will return to a Madison courtroom today. Cynthia Dominguez and Brittany Holston each face a single felony charge of attempted first-degree intentional homicide of an unborn child. According to a criminal complaint, the duo attacked the victim in the parking lot of an apartment complex on the city's south side on the morning of November 30th. Holston had a child with and is in a relationship with the father of the victim's baby. Dominguez will be in court for 2 hearings this afternoon, and Holston is set to have her preliminary hearing in the case.
Now to the latest in the Michigan State shooting. We are learning more about the victims of Monday night's shooting. The 3 killed and the 5 injured were all students. The students killed are junior Ariel Anderson, an aspiring pediatrician, sophomore Brian Frazier, who was president of his fraternity, and junior Alexandria Verner, a talented athlete. A vigil honoring Verger was held outside of her Clawson, Michigan high school last night.
He was kind and positive and empathetic and compassionate.
Mass shootings are becoming common, and it's just not an okay thing. Like, we need to do something about it.
What remains a mystery, though, this morning is why the gunman with no known affiliation with the university targeted it. The university plans to hold a vigil later this evening to honor the victims. Meantime, Wisconsin men's basketball coach Greg Gard having some thoughts about the Michigan State shooting. They hosted the University of Michigan last night, just days after that shooting on Michigan State's campus. Badgers head coach Greg Gard spoke following the game to the media.
It's everybody's worst nightmare, but when you're a parent and you've got kids the exact same age and they know people on that campus, that hits big time. And just send all my best wishes and thoughts to everybody in East Lansing and what they're going through.
School shootings still continue to be a topic of conversation, especially among parents wanting safety and security for their kids. Now, a local tech company is hoping to help with that. Single wire software has been in the critical event management and emergency mass notification market since 2009. They're launching a new software called Visitor Aware, which they say can better help protect students and staff. The tech uses IDs and facial recognition software to quickly check sexual predator databases, court orders, and FBI watch lists. This is across all 50 states when someone tries to check into a school building.
That product is something that we had heard from our customers that they were interested in. It adds a level of safety and security for people coming into a facility so that you know that the people you're allowing into your facility are safe.
Company leaders say what makes Visitor Aware unique is its simplicity and ability to run without dedicated hardware. That means school computers or iPads will work. They also say it's useful outside of the school market in places like long-term care facilities.
A heavily debated AP course will soon be taught to several hundred students in Madison.
McKenna Alexander shares why district leaders feel the new AP African American Studies course aligns with the mission of the Madison School District.
Come next fall, some MMSD students in 10th, 11th, and 12th grade will have the option to get college credit through the AP African American Studies course. The class, which can fill either a social studies or English credit, has been highly debated across the U.S., but is one that MMSD officials feel is important to include in high school curriculum.
I think that if you look at many curriculum from the past, it is definitely from more of a singular viewpoint. It is definitely more white-centered, and some of our curriculum has really been whitewashed, and we want to be really intentional about ensuring that we're giving students accurate information to make well-informed decisions, to make sure that they understand multiple perspectives, and that they understand representation of races and ethnicities that may not be their own.
Green stresses that any AP course is valuable and that it can provide college credit free of charge given a student scores a 3 or higher on the corresponding AP exam. But when it comes to the AP African American Studies course, Green says it's a class that can benefit any student, college credit or not.
The course is for any student of any race and any background, any ethnicity. I think understanding the real history and the truth about our history is critically important for all of our students, so I would say it's beneficial for all.
Right now, there are only 60 schools across the U.S. that offer this course, but come next year, there will be several hundred teaching the curriculum, including schools within MMSD, something Green says is a privilege.
And adding this course is just one more example of how we are trying to ensure that the curriculum that we have is culturally relevant, is diverse and representative of students and the histories.
That was McKenna Alexander reporting. As of right now, the course is only being offered to students at Bell Phillips Memorial High School and Madison East High School. However, that could expand depending on interest in the pilot program.
Now to an update on a staff member who allegedly made racist comments at a high school in Black River Falls. The school district superintendent says that staff member has resigned after allegedly making those comments towards a freshman and member of the Ho-Chunk Nation. The student recorded the exchange last week and then reported it to high school officials. The school district then placed that staff member on leave and launched an investigation. In an interview with our sister station in La Crosse, the student said that she hopes things change because people who look at people of color look at them different.
Unity Point Health is starting to charge patients for sending messages through its My Unity Point portal. A spokesperson tells News 3 patients will be charged for messages they send to providers that require clinical time and medical expertise. The decision stemming from the use of the platform more than doubling since the start of the pandemic. Not all questions or notes to providers will end with a bill, but requests for new prescriptions, changes to medication, and messages about new symptoms a patient hadn't previously discussed with their doctor could lead to charges. Officials say those with high deductibles or no insurance could see costs between $36 and $70. 6:09 is your time. Coming up, how some social media influencers are using their platform to support small restaurants.
And Badger men's basketball back in action late last night, trying to get back to their winning ways. We'll show you the highlights.
At Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
McGann Furniture and Flooring has a question for you. Do you have a hard time sleeping comfortably through the night? Is your mattress 10 years old or even older? Chances are you're due for a new one. Mattress technology has changed a lot in the last 10 years. Our experienced staff will help you find the right style, construction, and firmness that will give you years of sleeping comfort. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. With delivery and disposal of your old set, we make it easy to have the bed of your dreams at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. And if you haven't tried Plexiderm, we've created the best offer yet with our Valentine's Day Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under-eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. Even the 11 lines between your eyes are visibly gone in minutes. Plexiderm works so well that celebrities in Hollywood and people just like you feel years younger in minutes. This is why I'm letting people try it for only $14.95 this Valentine's Day at plexidermtrial.com.
So I've had under eye bags for a very long time and it sucks. I have spent so much money on tons of eye creams, eye gels. Finally, I tried something called Plexiderm, and I'm not joking, it works. When I do a collage and everything is done, it looks amazing. That is exactly how Plexiderm makes me feel. I put it on my face, and somehow, some way, I look together, which is amazing. I'm Jackie, and I took the Plexiderm 10-minute challenge, and so should you.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. And yet, when you look in the mirror, what you see necessarily isn't what you feel inside. Plexiderm, seriously, honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there, like the bags are gone.
The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shale rock. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms, rapidly reducing the appearance of under-eye bags and wrinkles in minutes. This Valentine's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. So if under-eye bags make you look tired or feel older, take action this Valentine's Day and see that younger-looking you. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
When your door is always open, so is the fridge. At Pick and Save, however you shop, in-store, pickup, or delivery, you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards. That's a win-win-win. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:12 on a Wednesday morning. The restaurant business can be tough, and the pandemic hit the industry particularly hard. But as Michael George shows us this morning, some social media influencers are now using their platforms to support small restaurants.
Amrit Paul Singh came to New York from India to start his own restaurant. He named it Angel after his daughter. But just 6 months after opening, the pandemic shut down the city.
COVID was very tough for you.
Yes, very tough. Sometime I came here, I don't get any single customer here and I go home back.
But recently, he got a boost from an unexpected place, social media.
Angel Indian Restaurant rightly became known for their biryani, but the Adaraki lamb might be our favorite dish here.
Cy Willis and Lauren McGill are food influencers. Their channel, Consuming Couple, has more than 400,000 followers on TikTok. They like to highlight smaller, lesser-known spots, like Angel.
How do you find these places?
Yeah, really just diving into the research. I like going down a few rabbit holes and just seeing what we can find.
We like to try new stuff, and we don't want to get stuck in our own little bubble.
Just one post from Consuming Couple brought in crowds of new customers.
They actually help me a lot here. I get maybe 100 customers here. They tell me I see your video in Instagram also and TikTok also.
My dish, it's gotta be torched on fire tableside.
Nom Life, an LA-based food blog with 300,000 followers, also encourages viewers to try hidden gems in their community.
So for us, it's really always been really passionate about highlighting local restaurants and businesses.
You just have to get out there and try. Like sometimes you're gonna like it, sometimes you're not, sometimes you'll love it, but it's all part of the experience.
Giving their followers a taste of something new while giving restaurants a helping hand. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
That was Michael George reporting. Now, a marketing industry survey found 62% of consumers say they're more likely to try something if it's recommended by an influencer they follow.
6:14, let's get to Kelly Slifka and that forecast. He is taking a look at Doppler track this morning. Hey, Kelly.
Yeah, good morning. We are still watching our storm system that brought us the rain yesterday. Not a whole lot showing up on radar around here, but you can see how this storm system is really spinning up, producing some snow up there toward the Twin Cities and Duluth. We did have a few showers move through Rock County, now moving through Jefferson County, almost out of Jefferson County. That's about it for this morning, but we do have an alert day because our second round comes in late tonight through tomorrow. Looking at the snow accumulating by this time tomorrow morning, at least starting to accumulate. It looks like we're going to see a wide range of snow up toward the Dells, maybe upwards of an inch, down toward Janesville, maybe closer to 7 inches. So right in between there, Madison, we're looking at 3, 4, 5 inches of snow. Therefore, we do have the winter storm watches in effect for southern Wisconsin. That goes into effect late tonight, well after midnight, through much of the day on Thursday. So here's that storm system still developing over the Four Corners area, spreading that snow in Colorado. That's a system that's going to track to the south of Chicago. So that'll put southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois in line for some of the heaviest snow. Right now, we're still mild in the 40s, but we've dipped a degree now as that west wind will usher in some cooler temperatures, but mild for right now, at least across Dane County. 41 in Cross Plains, Sauk City to Mount Horeb, 41 in Oregon, 42 right now in Stoughton. It's also windy. We have these winds out of the west-southwest, 15 to 25 miles per hour. We've had some gusts up to 45 miles per hour down in Monroe earlier, and we'll continue to see these winds out of the west-southwest, eventually switching around the northwest, diminishing a little bit later on today. And we're looking at mostly cloudy skies, but those west winds will bring in some of that cooler air. Temperatures actually falling through the 30s as we go into the afternoon. A mostly cloudy sky today. May see a peak or two of sun, especially to the south, but it will be turning cooler. After midnight, some snow showers start to develop, but you can see that line basically from the Dells down to the south, seeing the snow, and that's when we are expecting the accumulating snow mainly tomorrow morning before starting to move on to the east during the afternoon. It will be a colder snow than we had last Thursday. So looking at a wide range of snow with lesser totals to the north, maybe closer to 7 inches toward the Illinois border. So your first warm weather, the alert day for tomorrow with that snow accumulating, temperatures in the 20s. So we'll hold on that snow through Friday, then we'll melt it into the weekend.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Here's sports director Zach Hanley with your morning sports.
Fitting that the first meeting between Michigan and Wisconsin since that handshake scuffle is on Valentine's Day, the day of love. And that word does not describe how these two teams feel about each other. Now, Greg Gard did say that beef is behind the two programs, which is good because at this point, getting a win is the most important thing. Now, we'll get to Connor Essegian in a minute, but first, Stephen Crowell playing like Big Steve down low against Hunter Dickinson. He drops it home for 2 of his 11 points to put the Badgers up early. Then it became the Essegian show. First, the freshman climbs the ladder to throw it down, and he lets the Wolverines know about it. Then later, it's CE3 time. A career-high 23 points from him, and Wisconsin bounces back to beat Michigan 64-59. Top two teams in the East going at it in Milwaukee. Bucks hosting the Celtics, who sat a lot of their guys. Sam Hauser, not one of them, and it would have been nice to see if the Wisconsin native didn't play. Well, he hits the triple with 3 seconds left to send this one to overtime. In OT, Bucks down 1, and Drew Holiday came to save the day. He dials one up from deep, and that would be your game winner. Bucks beat the Celtics in overtime, 131-125. High school boys hoops, Mineral Point hosting Darlington in a huge matchup in the Swall. Pointers lost the first meeting in overtime. Landon Thousand doing his best to avenge that loss. He lays it up and in to tie this one up early. But the Redbirds were doing Redbird things. Carver Fitzsimons slams it home to give Darlington the lead. He finished with a team-high 14. And then later, they're out running and find a wide-open Brady Long. He connects from deep. Darlington gets the win 55-53 and clinches a share of the Swall Conference crown. The Wisconsin women have a huge test tonight. A date with 7th-ranked Iowa, and the Hawkeyes can light up the scoreboard. Caitlin Clark has unlimited range and averages over 27 points per game. And former Monona Grove star McKenna Warnock comes in averaging in double figures, too. Now, when it comes to the series, Badgers have lost 26 straight to the Hawks. But Marissa Mosley, she's confident that her team can end that streak.
You got to pick your poison a little bit with them. You're not going to keep them scoreless by any means. But at the same time, that competitive spirit, that grit, that expectation that we're going to go on the road and perform to the best of our ability, and that we expect to win. You can't go in and say, oh, it's Iowa, so let's just give it the good old college try. That's not who I am.
To the MAT Division II team sectionals, Evansville taking on Whitewater. Winner heads to the state dual tournament. Whippets started strong. Aaron Porres gets the first period fall to give Whitewater a 6-4 lead. But then Evansville started a pin party of their own. Defending champ Owen Heiser wins by fall, part of 6 straight pins for the Blue Devils, including one in the first period by their 285-pounder, Tim Lund. Evansville punches their ticket to state with a 58-13 win. And joining them at the state duels, Reedsburg, who's going for the first time in school history, and defending Division III champ, Fenimore. Back to you.
Thanks, Zach. Happening today, the Kansas City Chiefs will show off the Lombardi Trophy during their big parade. Public schools in the city and districts in the surrounding area are closed for the day because of it. Officials expect about 500,000 people to line the streets of Kansas City today.
KC going all out.
Yeah, they are already lining up this morning, too.
Wow. 6:21 right now. Coming up, a new report shows just how many people in Wisconsin are getting married.
And in our next half hour, how a Madison teenager is showing her community some love. Stay with us.
Watch News 3 Now at 6 with Eric, Charlotte, Gary, and Zach. Weeknights.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
My name is Mike Williams. I've been driving school bus off and on for 21 years. Here at our terminal, we're kind of like a family too. Somebody has an issue with a bus, other people kick in and help and get the job done.
I'm voting for Judge Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
She believes in our freedom to make our own decisions when it comes to abortion.
Extremists want to ban abortion,
even in cases of rape and the health of the mother.
Judge Janet Protasewicz is the change Wisconsin needs.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National, go like a pro.
It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. Get started on your next Ford SUV, like Bronco, Explorer, or the new Escape. Get here to get a deal on the SUV's #1 in brand loyalty. It's Auto Show. The deals start now, and so should you. During Auto Show, choose FlexBuy on Escape, Edge, or Explorer with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months plus 1,000 Auto Show cash.
This President's Day, we're throwing a 5-star celebration at Bob's Discount Furniture, making it super easy to shop my top-rated products, like my Avenger and Forte collections. Both have power reclining Bobapedic seats, USB ports, a drop-down table in the sofa, luxurious upholstery, and a storage console in the love seat. Just $9.99 each. And the reviews are flying in with 2,500 and counting. So check out the Avenger and Forte motion collections this President's Day weekend at Bob's.
Low E has hurt my ability to perform.
He hasn't been able to make the bed in years.
Now there's hope. Now through February 16th, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and turn your low energy into big fitness energy in 2023 in a clean and spacious, judgment-free zone with tons of equipment to get you energized.
Low E, not for me.
Simply join through the free PF app for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Thursday, February 16th.
A former prosecutor, now circuit court judge, Janet Protasewicz. On the Supreme Court, she'll be a common-sense judge. She believes in abortion rights, fairness for all, and protecting public safety. Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
Cobison Buses, now hiring.
Working with Cobison, it's definitely been great because of the flexibility. If you do need time off, they work around you. They definitely try to make it a company that's based for you.
Visit Cobison.com to apply.
It is National Wisconsin Day, everybody. How about that?
Yeah, we love the Badger State, of course, America's Dairyland.
America's Dairyland.
So do they celebrate this around the country? I mean, is Minnesota like gung-ho on it right now?
This is the only one we care about. So some facts about the great state we live in. 30th state in the Union, May 29th, 1848. Big mining boom, not fur trading, led to the nickname the Badger State. We're, of course, America's dairyland. So celebrate accordingly, everyone. Anybody doing anything special for National Wisconsin Day? Tell you what, I'm going to enjoy living in this state a little bit more today.
How are you going to do that?
Go have a beer?
Just
walk around with my
Cheese
head held a
and
little
beer.
higher.
That's
Right, happy Wisconsin Day, everybody. There's also a new report out showing that fewer people in Wisconsin are getting married.
because they're so proud to be here, maybe. This is due to the, quote, wizard and lending tree found since 2011. Marriage is down 4%. The prompter was not the right place, that's why. Divorces are also down 17%, which means people are staying married longer. 1 in 3 have never been married. Men earning over $100,000 are the most likely to be married, and women earning $75 to $100K have the highest divorce rate.
So we have a theory about this, is that people are waiting to get married longer. They're not getting married as young. So this could be throwing off some of the rates. And once they find that person, they stick with them longer, right?
You're learning more about yourself, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, hey, we have taken up all of Kelly's time for weather.
We like to talk.
We do have a lot to talk about coming up in the weather. It's an alert day tomorrow. We're tracking how much snow and when it will arrive coming up next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It would appear that
the butler did it.
But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get a low $359 per month lease on the 2023 Nissan Rogue.
Catch these offers while you can.
When the weather gets cold, springs break.
Fixing broken garage doors, that's all we do here at Precision.
Our vehicles are literally like a warehouse on wheels. We can fix a broken spring the same day and get you on your way.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Right now with Papa Murphy's, we've got a great deal.
Which means I make more great pizza.
Like our $9.99 XLNY pizza. It's everything you'd expect from a classic New York-style pizza, hot and fresh out of your oven. Order now at papamurphys.com.
Don't you wish you could wave a magic wand and have whiter teeth? Well, you can, but it's not magic. It's power swabs. Just swab your teeth for 5 minutes and boom, whiter teeth and a better smile. And since you're not dealing with messy trays or awkward strips, you're less vulnerable to the harsh sensitivity they sometimes create.
I've used strips. They seem to really hurt my teeth. The power swabs, it just seemed very gentle.
It's so simple and easy. You just open it, you apply it to your teeth, you forget it's there. And I noticed that they're white and bright again like they were before.
I noticed actually a difference the first time that I used power swabs. You put on the first coat and then the activator goes on and immediately you start seeing it working.
It only takes 5-minute applications to get a brighter, whiter smile with power swabs. You just snap, swab, and smile. Power swabs have been clinically studied to whiten natural teeth and remove stains from caps, crowns, and veneers. It's so powerful, it removes stains from coffee, tea, red wine, and even smoking.
I love my coffee in the morning.
I will never stop drinking coffee. I will not be the person drinking hot coffee with a straw.
As much coffee as I drink, I can use my power swabs and eliminate the staining.
When I use the power swabs, I applied it directly to my front tooth where the coffee stain was.
I like being able to individually get the teeth, and most importantly, it got kind of in between the grooves.
You can put it directly on the stain that you see on your teeth, and it's so precise.
But as powerful as it is, it's also gentle and causes 0 to minimal sensitivity.
This didn't sting, it didn't burn, it didn't have an aftertaste. It was just a swab, and I just got to rub it around my teeth, and that was it.
Take it from me as someone who has gone the dental route, but has also gone on the shelf route, and I've not really seen anything work as effective and as easy as power swabs.
Whiten your teeth this Valentine's Day by ordering power swabs and receive 50% off the regular price. Shipping is free, plus you'll receive a free quick stick pen to use on the go after meals or a cup of coffee. Visit powerswabs.com or call the number on your screen.
It would appear that
the butler did it.
But this isn't a whodunit film. It's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select models.
Catch these offers while you can.
Right now, protecting kids online. How lawmakers are working to limit legal immunity for social media platforms.
And why a new home for the Wisconsin Film Fest is a familiar location for Madison moviegoers.
And it is a windy yet mild morning, but we do have some changes with some of that snow coming in later tonight.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Josh Brighter. We start with Kelly Aslifka looking ahead to that snow moving in. I tell you what, it feels good outside right now, but that wind, though, it kind of sneaks up on you.
Yeah, it definitely melted a lot of the snow finally. Seemed like it took forever, even though we had been so mild. But looks like we'll be adding to that snow going into later tonight and tomorrow. But right now we do have the wind this morning. In fact, we've had sustained winds. Look at Monroe. That's a sustained wind of 36 miles per hour. We do have wind advisories over northern Illinois. Right now our sustained wind in Madison is 13. So it is a windy start to our day, and those winds will continue throughout the morning into the early afternoon before starting to diminish. Right now we're 42, but noticing the temperatures do fall off to the west. That's that cooler air that's going to work in as we go into the afternoon hours. Take a look at some of the wind gusts down in Monroe. We're looking at 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We did have a few showers that really moved on to the north and east and now moving out of the area. And it should be dry today, but it won't be until later tonight. We do have the first warn weather alert starting late tonight through tomorrow. Widespread snow across southern Wisconsin, but it's going to vary a lot. You get up toward the Dells, an inch or less. South of there, you'll see it ramped up toward the Illinois border. That'll be the heaviest snow, where we're looking at upwards of 7 inches of snow falling late tonight through tomorrow morning. Right now, our temperatures will fall through the 30s throughout the morning hours into the afternoon. Might see a peak or two of sun, but the big story is the winds yet throughout the morning hours into the early afternoon hours before starting to come down. Looking at our bus stop forecast, we're looking at the winds out there this morning, temperatures around 40. Then we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. It will be cooler, so make sure those kids have that jacket later today. We will have an update on those snowfall totals expected coming up in just a bit.
Thank you. Remember, you can stay on top of the alert day by downloading the free First Warn Weather and Traffic app. Just search WIC Weather in your app store.
We are following some breaking news overnight. Madison police are trying to track down a gunman accused of a shooting near MATC. This happened at Straubel Court. Folks there heard gunshots around 11:41 last night. Officers ended up locating some shell casings in the area and a vehicle with some bullet holes in it, and then found out that there were people in that car when it was shot. Nobody was hurt, and again, there are no arrests to report this morning. The incident is still under investigation. Now let's take a live look at the State House this morning, where Governor Evers will be presenting his big budget plan for the next 2 years to the legislature tonight.
Lawmakers will then debate how to spend the $7 billion budget surplus. That's the largest in state history. Governor Evers has already revealed some of the key parts of his plan, including a tax cut. It is a proposed 10% cut for middle-class Wisconsinites. For individuals making $100,000 a year or less, or couples making $150,000. It would also increase tax credits for parents.
We also know the governor's plan for public schools. It would take a big chunk of the budget surplus, more than $2 billion. That plan includes $1 billion to the state's general aid formula and more than $1 billion for special education. There are also proposals to address the teacher shortage and school nutrition. It would be the second biggest proposed investment in education in the state, the governor says, since the mid-90s. The governor also proposing initiatives for renters. He wants to invest in affordable housing in Milwaukee, expand protections for renters across the state, and expand legal help for low-income renters.
Governor Evers is also proposing some voting changes. It would automatically register state drivers, restore previous residency requirements of 10 days prior to an election, and allow clerks to process absentee ballots the day before an election. It was also creating an Office of Election Transparency and Compliance.
Finally, the governor revealed he wants the state to invest in the Milwaukee Brewers. He is proposing giving the team nearly $300 million for repairs to American Family Field. In exchange, the Brewers would agree to stick around for another 20 years through 2043. The stadium is 22 years old. We do plan on streaming the governor's budget announcement tonight. You can watch it on our news app or channel3000.com starting at 7 o'clock.
New information at 6:34. A new report shows that baby boomers had nearly 7.5 times as much net worth as millennials. This report was done by the nonpartisan government data website USA Facts. In terms of net worth, millennials trail all other generations by $885,000 on average. Looking at the stock market, millennials have around $18,000 invested, while baby boomers have around $200,000. The report also covered wealth gaps by race, showing that white households hold 80% of national wealth, 50% more than the next highest group. That's despite being only 64% of the population.
The Wisconsin Film Festival will be using the space at Hilldale Shopping Center, formerly occupied by AMC Theater. This year's festival is set to run from April 14th through the 20th. The festival will celebrate 25 years of films this year, with 150 films set to be shown at theaters at the UW-Madison campus and at Hilldale. With the AMC location closing, organizers indicated this will be the last year that films will be shown in the space.
It's our most popular venue. We show about 85 films a year here over the course of 7 days. We typically have attendance just at this venue of over 10,000 people during the course of the week.
After screenings wrap up, Hilldale will donate the theater equipment to the festival for future use.
Developing now, a new bipartisan group of senators are considering limiting legal immunity for websites that moderate user-generated content. In a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing in Washington, lawmakers listened to testimony from parents and psychologists about the dangers of social media. One testimony said that children spend around 8 hours per day online. Some giving testimony were shocked that more has not been done until now. One parent is angry she can't hold social media sites legally accountable in her son's death.
Last time Congress passed a law to protect children online was 25 years ago.
Carson had received nearly 100 negative, harassing, sexually explicit, and humiliating messages, including 40 in just one day.
That was Kristen Bride, who lost her son to suicide but could not sue social media sites due to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. This provides legal immunity for websites that moderate user-generated content. Lawmakers are considering a digital regulatory commission or setting age limits. The senators promised there will be change.
Since Valentine's Day is focused on acts of romance and love, it's easy to forget that your community always deserves some love too. But one Madison teenager never forgot and is set out to make sure that everyone feels cared for. Our Armand Rahman has the story.
While the aisles were filled with people getting flowers and chocolates for their significant others,
it's the season of love, and love extends to helping people.
One family filled carts with groceries for strangers on Valentine's Day.
Here you go.
And it all started with one 13-year-old girl who's no stranger to lending a helping hand.
This is where I live, and I want the people here to be, happy and, feel comfortable.
Last year, Audrey started Happy Feet of Madison, collecting socks for those experiencing homelessness.
It's really cool that my sister could actually build something from the ground up at, 11, 12, 13.
Audrey and her dad normally pick up socks every Monday, but her whole family felt the love Tuesday.
Not everybody has someone to give them that little bit of extra love on a special day.
Did you get the mac and cheese? Oh yeah, you have it.
Through the Facebook group Dane County Neighbors Helping Neighbors, Audrey's mom got a list of what some people needed.
Mainly groceries and pizza. There was one lady who had a kid, and so she asked for just diapers and stuff, baby wipes.
It's really important to us that we instill the giving values to the kids. And it was so special for it to land on Valentine's Day. So warm fuzzies.
They then delivered across Madison to people living in apartments.
Thank you so much.
Even people living out of their cars, who were grateful not just for the help, but what Audrey gave to their heart.
The knowledge that someone cares about them. There's not a lot of people that are willing to help. Knowing that someone can and wants to just makes someone feel good.
That was Armand Rahman reporting. Well, Watch this in honor of Valentine's Day. A couple of rehabilitated turtles, Josh, being released in Florida.
Yeah, they were rescued about 3 months ago and treated at the Marathon Turtle Hospital. The couple named Port and Starboard were released while a crowd of several hundred watched. The biologist releasing the turtles was asked if they would come back to that beach in the future. She responded, "We shall wait and see."
Shell, like turtle shell?
Yep.
Got it. Cool. Gosh, doesn't it look beautiful there in Florida?
I love Florida.
You just came back from there.
Yeah,
Is it
we
really
did.
as gorgeous as it looks?
Long weekend. Temps were in the 80s, so.
Oh, man.
Horrible.
We'll settle for 45 or so this morning.
It actually feels nice outside.
Balmy,
the most
45.
Wisconsin thing ever.
Let's take a look outside in those balmy conditions. We do have a big drop in the temps in the forecast, and it's also going to drop some snow as well. We could get a few inches, depending on where you're at, though. Kelly Slifka is timing it all out and telling you just how much you may see.
Plus, new information on just how much damage COVID can do to the lungs.
Ashley Home Store's President's Day Weekend Mattress Blowout event is here. Save up to 75% on mattress doorbusters from the top brands while they last. Or save big on Tempur-Pedic and Purple adjustable mattress sets. Only at Wisconsin's #1 mattress retailer, Ashley Home Store.
At Stanton Optical, independent eye doctors are available for eye exams whenever you need one. You should have seen me before I got mine. You're so quiet. Are you mad at me? Book your free same-day eye exam at Stanton Optical today.
There are moments in life, special moments, moments to share, moments to celebrate. Share the love. Celebrate the moment.
Diamond Select, downtown Stoughton.
The Wisconsin Fishing Expo returns to the Alliant Energy Center in Madison February 24th through the 26th, stocked with over 330 booths, plus nearly every fishing boat imaginable. Load up with deals now. It's the Wisconsin Fishing Expo's largest seminar roster ever, with topics for almost any species, over 20 seminars. Check out kids' activities, including the trout pond, fish bingo, and bumper boats. Go to wifishingexpo.com for details. Sponsored by Wisconsin Outdoor News, Blackfish, Daiwa, Lucas Oil, Acme, the Big 1070, and Don's Marine.
Man, running out of hot water, that's like running out of gas during a race.
You got that right.
That's why I'm getting a Richmond water heater, man. They're dependable.
A real winner.
They got everything here too. And the prices, they're low.
Come to Menards. Check out our huge selection of Richmond water heaters in stock today. You'll save big money now. Low prices, lower energy cost.
Man, what an awesome store.
I'm proud to have them as a partner.
Let's go win some races for Menards.
Let's do it.
Save big money at Menards.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at LensCrafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
Ashley Home Store's President's Day Weekend Blowout is here. This Saturday through Monday, get the very best deals of the season on our furniture doorbusters for your living room, dining room, and bedroom, now up to 60% off. This weekend only at Ashley Home Store.
An election that could tip the scales in the state Supreme Court. News 3 Now looks at the candidates in the upcoming primary and what's at stake for you in a Campaign 2023 special report. Thursday at 6:30 p.m. only on News 3 Now. News 3 Now, first warn weather. When you're planning your day, accuracy matters. Trust Madison certified most accurate team, so you'll know what to expect when you head out the door. First warn weather, keeping you ahead of the storms. You're watching News 3 Now this morning.
We're back at 6:43 on the Health Watch. At this hour, we know COVID can cause long-term damage to the lungs, but now researchers are looking at the lungs of people who develop COVID pneumonia 6 months, a year, then 2 years after the initial infection. Lung abnormalities at 6 months were 54%, and while they decreased over time, 39% of the patients who developed COVID pneumonia still had lung abnormalities 2 years after infection.
Yikes. All right, 6:43. Let's get to that first warn forecast. Kelly's tracking a winter storm system on the way. Kelly.
Yeah, we're still watching the system. It's still a long ways away, but it looks like it will be impacting southern Wisconsin. We do have the alert day going into effect late tonight through tomorrow. We're looking at a wide range of snowfall totals. Simply, if you're in the Dells or let's say Richland Center, you're like, what's the big deal? We're only getting a little bit of snow, but areas to the south likely will see some pretty heavy snow, and that'll be affecting mainly south of the Dells toward the Illinois border. Therefore, we do have the winter storm watches into effect for the counties in extreme southern Wisconsin. It does include Madison. This goes into effect late tonight, well after midnight, right through most of the day on Thursday. Winter storm warnings down in the south. So the system that brought us the rain now is moving on out, still wrapping some winds around. The secondary storm still over the Four Corners area. This one's going to take a track a little further south of Chicago. So that'll put us on the colder side of it. Southern Wisconsin, extreme northern Illinois, we'll see the heaviest snow from that late tonight going into tomorrow. Meantime, still mild yet, but it is cooling off to the west. Our winds are out of the west, and that'll bring in some of that cooler air. But right now we're in the 40s, 42 right now in Madison, 40 in Middleton, 41 in Oregon, and also Stoughton, 41 right now in Cottage Grove. Winds are a factor, especially our counties down the south. We had a wind gust in Monroe last hour of 45 miles per hour. Still sustained winds up there at 28, 13 in Madison. So the winds will continue this morning into the early afternoon hours before shifting to the northwest and diminishing a little bit going into late afternoon and evening. So planning your day, looking at mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures this morning in the 40s, but will fall through the 30s this afternoon, and it will be turning colder tonight. After midnight, we'll start to see some snow showers moving in, but you can see that band of snow spreading across southern Wisconsin with the heaviest snow south of the Dells, south of Richland Center, all the way down into northern Illinois. Throughout the morning into the early afternoon hours before it starts to move on to the east and just some flurries, but turning colder with that northerly wind kicking in. So snowfall totals north of the Dells, probably less than an inch. North of Richland Center, less than an inch. Quickly ramps up, though, once you get into northern Dane County, 2 to 4 inches. Southern Dane County, 4 to 7 inches, and that extends down into Rock and Jefferson County. So we do have the first warn forecast today. Quiet but windy. Temperatures falling throughout the day. We'll look at that snow moving in late tonight. Therefore, the alert day. Snow accumulating. This will be a drier snow because of colder temperatures than what we saw last Thursday, 20s, right through Friday. We'll melt some of the snow. It looks like this weekend, quiet, but looks like a pretty active weather pattern setting up much of next week.
All right, Kelly, thanks a lot. A group of 5 seniors at a senior living campus, Vista West, renewed their vows yesterday, reaffirming their commitment of until death do us part.
Photojournalist Lance Height shows us how the love is just as strong for these couples as it was when they first wed.
I will receive you, Rose, as my wife.
It's just really special to do this repetition of our vows.
We've been together since we were 17 and born the same day in the same town. And we're just so much a part of each other.
I promise to love, honor, and cherish you, no matter what lies before us.
I vow to pass on this heartfelt vow. Life with Phyllis is wow, wow, wow.
I have been blessed for the last 64 years, and I'm thrilled that I get to spend the rest of my life with you. I love you.
So the first 25, it seems like when you're starting your family and doing things, it wasn't difficult, it's just that it dragged a little bit. But then the minute you get to be grandparents, goes like wildfire.
You just have to be kind to each other. I think it's a cliche to say soulmates, but we are.
You know, as we get older and things are more difficult physically for us, actually I'm finding that our connection is stronger than it ever was.
Don't you love to see it?
Yes.
Again, we want to thank photojournalist Lance Height for putting that together.
Love is wonderful. All right, 6:48 coming up in the morning sprint. The Chicks are coming to Madison. We'll share how soon you can get the tickets to the Kohl Center showing.
If you got a little kiddo turning 3 soon, let us know so we can show their picture on TV. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Three Bears Resort, Indoor Water Park and Conference Center in Warrens, Wisconsin.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Do you suffer from chronic or severe back or neck pain? Did you know that there is now a treatment method available right here at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center that offers hope of avoiding spinal surgery for those suffering with bulging, herniated, or degenerative discs? Our therapies help reduce pain related to these conditions and have a high success rate in helping people just like you avoid back or neck surgery.
I have experienced low back pain for over 15 years. I had back surgery when I was 26 and had difficulties recovering. The doctors at Midwest Spine and Nerve Center have given me a new lease on life. I am now able to enjoy an active, pain-free lifestyle.
Call Midwest Spine and Nerve Center now to schedule a no-obligation consultation to see if our progressive pain-relieving therapies are right for you.
You've got this. Whatever it is, you're ready for it. Your newly purchased defenses, top of the line. Your backup, backing up. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with Access Checking. It's maintenance fee-free with no minimum balance requirements. So if your new house still has some old tenants, we'll make sure your checking account won't be giving you any surprises. You've got this with Associated Bank.
We make sit-down chicken, stand-up chicken, backyard chicken, oops chicken, and all smiles chicken. If there's one thing we know, it's chicken, chicken, and chicken. More choices, more wow, more to love. Tyson.
Garage doors do not like the cold weather at all.
As soon as it gets cold, springs, parts will burn.
At Precision, we can fix any make or model, usually the same day.
Rain, sleet, or snow, we're good to go.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
We depend on judges to keep our families safe. But Jennifer Doro has a long history of keeping criminals, even sexual predators, out of prison. As a judge, Doro lets criminals off easy so often, a fellow judge questioned her soft treatment of convicted criminals. She even gave a convicted domestic abuser 2 days to report to prison, time he used to violently assault his own family members. Jennifer Doro lets criminals off the hook, and that has no place on our Supreme Court.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Watch News 3 Now at 5 with Eric, Susan, and Gary. Weeknights.
6:51, time for the morning sprint.
And we start with some breaking news from overnight. Madison police responding to Straubel Court near MATC after reports of some gunshots around 11:40 in the evening. Those officers found some shell casings in a vehicle that had been hit. And then they talked to folks in the area and found out that there were people inside that car when it was shot. None of the occupants, though, in the vehicle were hurt. No arrests to report, though, this morning. You can find updates on channel3000.com when there's something to report.
Governor Evers will be releasing his 2023 to 25 budget tonight. So far, we know the governor will be providing a 10% tax cut for the middle class. He also hopes to expand rental protections and voter registration. With the state's $7.3 billion surplus, the budget hopes to allocate $2.6 billion to public schools and $300 million to repair American Family Field. We'll stream that live on Channel 3000 Plus at 7 tonight.
And a wild story here. A Green Bay woman accused of murder and dismemberment attacking her own attorney during a competency hearing. This happened moments after the judge said that the trial, scheduled for March 6, would be delayed. Taylor Shaw Business is accused of strangling a man to death and sexually abusing him. The attorney told the judge that he'd be filing a motion to withdraw from the case.
An attorney from the Wisconsin State Senate has sent a 4-page letter to Green Bay to destroy recordings and remove all surveillance equipment. The equipment was installed in the city sometime last year, and the issue was brought up again last week after city staff say they didn't know the microphones were there. The city has until 5 this afternoon to stop all recordings.
Following the mass shooting that killed 3 people at Michigan State University, a township in New Jersey ended up closing all private and public schools. Police said that a note was found in the shooter's pocket indicating a threat to a New Jersey private and public school. The threat was found not to be credible, though, and investigators say the shooter suffered from mental health issues.
At the Broward County Public School in Florida, the superintendent read the 17 names of the students killed in the Parkland shooting 5 years ago. Since the shooting, every school is now required to have one law enforcement officer patrolling campus, and a new app has been implemented for anonymous reporting. There's also a red flag law, and students 6th through senior year have a 5-hour of mental health-related course every year.
A Missouri man released after being wrongly imprisoned for 28 years. Lamar Johnson free this morning. He was accused of killing a man over a $40 drug debt. But Johnson's always maintained his innocence, saying that he was miles away when the man was killed. 2 men have admitted to the murder, and the Innocence Project then found prosecutorial misconduct, falsified police reports, and perjured testimony in the case.
A 77-year-old woman in Turkey has been rescued after being trapped for 212 hours. That's almost 9 days. She was trapped after that string of earthquakes devastated Turkey last week. So far, 41,000 people have been killed.
Several streets closed down in Mankato, Minnesota after a roof collapse. The building was over 100 years old and was set to undergo a $12 million redevelopment project. The renovation plans included 33 upscale apartments, a cocktail lounge, and an event center. No one was injured.
Well, if you're a fan of the Chicks, get ready to run to the Kohl Center. The 13-time Grammy-winning trio is announcing the Chicks World Tour 2023 will stop in Madison on August 26th. Tickets for the Kohl Center go on sale tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. You can find more information about Thursday's pre-sale under the story on our website.
Check this out at a zoo in Illinois. Animals getting in on some Valentine's Day treats. The Brookfield Zoo giving out some heart-shaped enrichment treats. The zoo's seals enjoying some frozen gelatin hearts. Tortoises had watermelon, and a cute little porcupine here got to snack on some biscuits.
Norman.
All right, good Wednesday morning. First Warn meteorologist Kelly Slifka. We have an alert day going into effect late tonight through tomorrow with accumulating snow. This will be falling all across southern Wisconsin, basically south of the Dells, south of Richland Center, where we do have winter storm watches into effect late tonight going into tomorrow. Already winter storm warnings down in the south. We're looking at about 2 to as much as 7 inches in Dane County down toward the Illinois border, lesser amounts to the north. We'll be windy today with falling temperatures as we drop through the 30s. Planning your day, just count on some winds and cooler temperatures later this afternoon.
Have a good one.